Hello everybody, welcome to another great episode of Hillbilly Select Reviews. I am behind the camera because I want to show you something. We're going to be doing a new RIFF single barrel, 112.4 proof. It's ABV 56.2. It is a single barrel selection. It was barrel distilled on 8/4/2015. It was barrel bottled on 10/4/2019. Let me see. It is non-chill filtered, and I'm going to show you something on the back, which is cool. I want you to look at that, and I'm going to let Bobby explain it. See how you got the Kansas City Chiefs here, and then it's like cut in half.
That's half of the logo of the Bourbon Club I'm in.
Okay.
So what they did was we did two picks,
right?
And if you put them together, obviously they were done in October. It was before the Super Bowl. Or, I'm sorry, it was after before the Super Bowl. Before you knew who the winner was, but after you knew who was going to be.
Right.
We had them put the Super Bowl picks on there. And so there was a Kansas City end, and there was a San Francisco end. So since San Francisco lost, I drank the San Francisco bottle, which was quite good. So I was saving the Kansas City bottle to sell to some sucker from Kansas City
Because it's
at
important.
an inflated price. Yes.
As if the Eagles won, we would want it, right?
But your fans are more important, Johnny. So we're going to crack this Kansas City bottle open right here, right now.
That's all.
So here we go.
This is in Newport, Kentucky, right?
Yes, it's in. And
You know, I've been to this distillery, and it's on the same parking lot as Party Source. And in Party Source, the back of Party Source is a brewery called Braxton's. And this whole thing takes up 2 zip codes. It's by the aquarium, and you can see
by the aquarium, yes.
Cincinnati from this distillery. You can see Cincinnati right over the Ohio River, and it's kind of cool.
And for those people that they used to be called the WEBN fireworks show, but they still have the fireworks show, and they light up that bridge from WKYP in Cincinnati, that blue bridge. They shut it down and they light fireworks off of that. It's quite the event. So anyway, shout out to these people. They're a new distillery, but they're not really new. They worked under a different name, and most distilleries, when they open up, they start putting out a product. Well, if they're putting out 4-year-old bourbon and you open up, they're really using somebody else's bourbon for 3 or 4 years. The New RIFF people did not. They actually worked at MGP, putting out their product under a different name. They saved it up for 4 to 6 years. So that way, when they opened up, it's a 4-year bourbon, but they put some 5-year and 6-year bourbon in there to give it some ass.
It said somewhere on there, aged at least
4 years. See, so they put,
right.
and this is probably a 5 or 6 year bottle.
Maybe like Scotch. If you have a 1,000-year-old Scotch and a 500-year-old Scotch and a 1-year-old Scotch mixed together, you have to call it
1 year Scotch. Well, there was actually a few years ago. I had the Fire Guys mixture. What happened was some guy threw the wrong barrel into something, so he threw a 4-year-old barrel into 12-year-old bourbon. So they had to call it 4-year. So they put it. It's almost 12-year. And they explained it, and they called it the fired man's back because he got fired that day. So it was kind of comical. Probably really didn't, but it was a clever concept.
You know what?
To cover their losses.
And if he really did, I would like him to sign one of my.
There you go. So we're gonna crack this baby open.
Oh.
Boom.
That was nice.
Here we go. Okay. We're gonna do just a little tiny pour. Now look at that color from supposedly.
Well, 4 to who knows what. At least 4.
Yeah, this is probably closer to 6.
So we know it's not colored because that's not allowed.
And it's single barrel, non-chill filtered. Now the great thing about non-chill filtered is
nice dark copper.
Most distilleries, the difference between non-chill filtered and chill filtered is when you chill filter it, you take your bourbon. Most of the time they proof it down and then they get it down to about 0 degrees. And at 0 degrees, the alcohol won't freeze, but the oils will freeze and they filter them out. So they're taking the mouthfeel and the butteriness out of the bourbon. Why they do that is because if you take a non-chill filtered and we throw an ice cube in this and we leave it for about an hour, at the bottom of the glass you get something that looks like bacon grease. And it becomes very unbecoming because the oil goes to the bottom. And manufacturers thought, oh, we can't put that out, so they filter that out. Well,
Oils were the flavors.
the people finally learned you're taking, it's like, taking the fat out of the biscuits or out of the green beans.
Even,
Yeah, you know
that's
what I'm
why
saying?
with coffee I don't like it in a paper filter. It filters out some of the oil. I use French press all the time.
There you go.
Now, Bobby, this is a different smell. I'm going to be interested with this. So
Okay.
I'm covering it up to see now.
Okay.
That is a different smell.
This is, for a new distillery,
What is the mash bill? You don't know.
John, it's rye. It's definitely rye. I do not know what the exact breakdown is.
Man, I don't know what the hell I'm smelling.
It's definitely rye.
It smells like I'm getting like vegetative, and I'm getting a hay, and I'm getting a cherry, but I'm getting
Thank goodness you said vegetative and hay. It sounded like cattle feed for her. It smells better than that to me. Okay.
No, it's not. It's
No.
different. It's not. I'm trying to think if I guess if I was blind tasting or smelling, I would get that it's bourbon, but it's different. It's not the usual sweet.
No, it's I'll say grain neutral.
It's got a strange smell. Not unpleasant, just more of a mild, grassy, a little bit of fruit, but mild. It's got a nice proof, but I'm not getting the alcohol.
When you smell it, I'm going to go ahead and taste it.
I'll taste it. But this is one I'd sit with it. I swear. I'd sit with this an hour, hour and a half. Just to let it bring out the flavor.
Now, we just popped the cork on this. And in previous shows, we talked about there was a couple bourbons that you need to let them like breathe a little bit, like maybe a wine, which a friend of mine who was really into wine, we tried a bourbon. He said, Bob, let that thing maybe air out a little bit. And it did change the...
This is going to change.
Oh, it's going to, yes. But for right now, if I gave you that, told you it was 112 proof, would you think it was?
Now it's smooth.
Yeah, I
I'll tell
would
you
say
what.
exactly.
It's very spicy, very cinnamon.
Now, see, I get the cinnamon in that.
I'm not getting as much of like the usual maple brown sugar.
No.
I'm not getting that. I'm getting more of a spice.
Cinnamon,
More baking
all
spices.
spice.
All spice.
Cinnamon,
a
all
nutty
spice.
smell.
Yes.
And a taste that's nutty it came to mind. Different than the usual sweet. It's not as sweet. It's more spicy.
And I do know they use
Nutty.
high char,
Okay.
which is a 4+. It goes 1 to 4, and they
Maybe
use.
that's what I'm.
So when you get that sharp, you're getting a real good burn on that barrel. You're getting that real good charcoal, and so it's moving in and out.
And you know what? You might have stuck that in my head now. Because I'm getting a different smell. I'm trying to figure out what it is. And I'm wondering if I'm smelling smoke.
Oh, there's definitely smoke to it.
So-
there's definitely smoke to it.
Maybe that's what it is. It's kind of like a scotch.
There's definitely smoke, but there's, unlike scotch, there's not a smoke taste. There's not a smoke, and I only describe it as scotch with the dirt taste. The peat taste is like burnt.
I like scotch.
It's the burnt peat.
You like scotch.
There's no burnt peat taste to this. At least I don't think so. Now I've had several. I've been lucky enough. I've had several of their barrel books, several, and this is not an especially good one. I've had some that were, and not that this is bad, but I
Let's
mean,
get a
but
cherry cordial. Now.
I don't get that.
You have cherry, Harry?
Huh? I see. I just don't get that. I get.
This is interesting.
I get-
as hell.
I get
Two things.
I get a little toffee in there.
Spicy as hell. You getting toffee?
I get a little toffee in there, a little allspice. It's very spicy,
Very spicy.
not sweet, but not.
It's got to be a low corn.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a rye. I mean, there's no. But I don't know that. I don't know if they even tell their mash bill. They're really new.
I'll tell you what.
It's a beautiful distillery. It's in Newport, like you talk. It's in Newport, Kentucky, up at the Cincinnati, Kentucky port. It's beautiful.
Two things that I'd like to say about this. One, I would love to sit. I've already said. I know. I love this. I really would love to sit this over an hour because I think it's really going to develop. And the second thing is, I want to revisit this. I want to revisit this bottle if you can keep it for at least a month.
We'll revisit it and keep it for maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, keep it a month.
Yeah, we'll keep it. I'll put it back up. Yes.
Because now it's had air in it, and it's gonna change a little bit.
So we will come back to this. We will come back to it in an episode down the road. But yeah, it's
very
we
different.
just popped it. It's.
Oh, should we put water?
There you go.
That's what water does to this.
You gotta have just a little more. You can't put water in that. For God's sakes. There you go. You're not driving far.
No.
There you go.
Let me see what that does.
And Rick, it just takes a little drop or two of water. And we were talking, John doesn't like to chill his bourbon down. I'll sit down at Tony's. Shout out to Tony's in Lexington. They do me right. I have a bourbon locker there. They take very good care of me. So it is. It's a restaurant. They're in Cincinnati, Lexington, and Indianapolis. The finest food you'll ever eat, and they take very good care of me. So I have the opportunity, because of their buying power, to taste bourbons that are really hard to find. So
Hey, Bobby, guess what happened? We brought out the sweetness.
They bring out the sweetness, and it's amazing. There's a chemical reaction. The water will go in and actually release.
I smell a lot of wood now.
You know what? I absolutely do get.
This is smelling more like a traditional bourbon now. Before it was really different. I didn't mind it, but I was like, wow, this is weird. But now with that little bit of water, I'm getting the bourbon. I'm getting the sweetness, or the wood.
No, I get the and
well, I'm getting a lot of wood. It's almost like you put liquid wood in there.
Well, on the back end, I really do. I get cinnamon, allspice. It's just real spicy on the back end.
I'm liking this because it's so different. I think if I drank it all the time, I think I might be like, I don't know. And then when I taste it, but because it's so different from a normal
Exactly.
bourbon, I'm liking it. I'm liking it as in every fifth bourbon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And we've done
Wood's really flying in this.
10 tonight, so this is our fifth bourbon. So, and I threw it in there.
So I like it.
And we're really, we're really going to have to do something on the next one, because
I'm looking at the next one. Next one's going to be good.
yeah, and we're going to have to do something just a little bit different. But yeah, this is to Kansas City fans.
You know what? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hope the Eagles kill you next year.
There, congratulations. Well, the Eagles did their only job. Put Dallas out. There you go. So it was a win-win year. So what do you think?
I think
Scale from 1
well, I usually
1 to 5.
1 to 5. Well, because we drink a lot of bourbon,
Oh yes.
and because this is different from a lot of bourbons, I'm going to give it up on that. And how much does this go for?
This stuff.
Can you get this and everything's good with it?
Typically, a single bourbon, single barrel pick of this is $49. It's under $50. So I like to tell people, for under $50, I think it's really good.
So under 50. So you got to take that. So you get it. It's under $50. You're not getting raked. It's different tasting. Since we drink a lot of bourbon, so I'm giving it points for that. The price, the availability, the different thing. I like the spiciness of it. I think the water improved it a little bit, which I usually don't. But I think it did. It opened it up. I'll give this what did you say, out of 10?
We'll go out of 10.
5?
We'll go out of 10.
Out of 4,
We'll go out of 10.
Out of 10?
Yeah, because you're going to give it an 8.
No, I don't know. Now, see, I don't know because we didn't do anything.
I don't want to go out of 5 because you only give it a 3.
No, you understand what I mean.
Okay.
But here's another problem.
Here's what.
See, I'm analyzing this.
This is a Camry, okay? Price it for what it is.
Yeah.
Camrys are nice. You love a Camry till the BMW pulls up next.
But you're not paying to buy 2 Camrys.
To the BMW. And then the BMW pulls up next to you and you think, well, yeah, but that's a lot more money. And
Right.
you're happy with the BMW till the Mercedes pulls up against it. And then you're like, and then the Maserati pulls up. And guess what? It's in a totally different place. You can't compare.
So
it.
you can't compare.
You can't compare. So this is under $50 for a barrel proof, over 100.
6.5.
Ah, it's too low. Okay, I'm giving it an 8 for the price. Now, if it was $100, I'd give it a 6.
Maybe yeah, because I didn't count student taste or price. Maybe 7.
Okay, we'll settle for 7 out of court. We settle out of court.
You're
Russo,
right.
what do you give? Oh, Russo's not here.
Russo gives it. I wish I was here.
Russo gives it a wish. We're about ready to open Russo's bottle. He's not even here.
He paid you for it already, didn't he?
He's already paid me, yeah.
Yeah, he pissed
Caitlin, he's already paid me. We're going to open it. Yeah. Caitlin's watching. Okay.
It's going to be bad. We open it.
Okay.
We'll let you know if we open it. All right, everybody.
Select reviews. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you on the next one, everybody. Thank you.